Okay, class. So rhetoric is defined as the symbols and signs that we as authors make to convey meaning. Right? So they're personal choices. So to return back to research papers, when you're writing your research paper, some of the rhetorical choices you're making is the voice you're using. Are you going to be very formal? Are you going to have like professional sounding words? Just how do you want to sound as a writer? What's your tone? What kind of information are you going to be giving? Right, that's a rhetorical choice you're making. The structure, are you going to be writing stream of consciousness where you're just writing idea after idea, and then a major point will come along near the end of the paragraph, or are you going to have some type of logical consistency where you have, well, here's what we're looking at, here's what I want you to know, this is how we get to it. Are you going to have that type of structure? Because they're representing different things about you. And then another brief one is research. Not just that you have research, but also what kind of research are you going to have? Are you going to have research backed up by statistics, research based on personal interviews, or research that is shown by books written by other people? These are like but a brief example of the rhetorical choices that we as writers make when we're writing academic papers. And all of this voice structure research, they're leading to a certain image of ourselves as writers. So that when we present our paper to an audience, they're going to see the rhetorical choices we've made combined with their understanding of the genre of research paper and their expectations of a history paper. And they're going to have a certain image of us as writers. How well did we do our research? Is it in line with all the expectations of history? The structure, is it in line with the history paper? Do we have good structure? The voice, how does it work for the topic we have? Those are helping to create an image. So when we're making these rhetorical choices, not only for papers, but for the way we dress, for our taste in music, for how we communicate with our friends, and how we communicate in social media, every time we're doing something, we're either subconsciously or consciously making a rhetorical choice to represent a certain image of ourselves. So when we think about genre, when we think about audience, when you're working in an office, when you're writing a paper, when you're just sitting in the classroom, the things you are doing, they create a certain image in the minds of the audience. Your friends, your professors, your coworkers, they're creating an image of you. So really when you're working, when you're writing, you always want to consider, how do you want the audience to see you? So when I started teaching at UC, I wanted my students to have a certain image of me as a professor. So I made all these rhetorical choices on how I dress, how I speak, how I learn their names to create that image, because that's what I wanted to get. That was my achievement. This is what I wanted. The more and more I did those rhetorical choices, the more and more that image was just reaffirmed in their minds. So when we're thinking about genre, when we're thinking about audience, is that it's not only that genre is just the conventions that you do, it's also the audience, they understand the genre. They have expectations of the genre. And you combine the genre and audience, and they influence the rhetorical choices you're making as a writer, the rhetorical choices you're making as a critic, as a lover of movies, the rhetorical choices you make when you're with your friends to create an image. Right? So just to do a quick wrap-up of that, genre, audience, rhetoric, very, very important, just not only for our class, but just for life in general. The more you understand your audience, the better you can work with the genre. The more you understand genre and audience together, the more rhetorical choices you have available to make to create an image that you want in particular. Right? With that, these 3 lectures are done. If you want me to clarify at any point of any of the lectures, feel free to email me, and I will get back to you within 24 hours. The only thing that we had to do this week was discussion board post number 6 on Key and Peele, and discussion board post number 7 on the Asif Manvi video, Third World Healthcare. So again, if you have any questions about the lectures, you want some more information, feel free to email me. Next week, we're just going to be going over genre a little bit more in detail, and we're also going to be working on our brief 2 to 4 page analysis paper of a certain movie, a certain book, or something relevant in your field if you want to do some brief introduction work for your larger research paper, which is coming up in the next month. So with that, hope everybody enjoyed these lectures, and I will be recording some more next week.